As a kid, I hated car trips, and any ride half an hour or longer and I get car sick. Excited, but at the same time not, my family rode to a friend's house, and a brutal 45 minutes later, we had arrived at my first pool party of the summer. My family traveled to the back of the house and into the backyard. Lit past the sliding door was a table of food surrounded by a large number of adults, eating and talking, while the children played in the pool. I watched as my eager younger brother jumped into the mid-shallow range of the pool with his floaties on, without a care in the world. I took my shirt off and sat on the deep end of the pool, dipping my feet into the water. As I looked around, I realized that I no longer saw my brother. Nonchalantly, I presumed he had walked back into the house as I waved to my mom, who I had last seen watching my brother. I casually slid into the warm water, soaking in my first memory of summer. Just then, a young kid I've seen before swam near me saying, "Your brother is laying down at the bottom of the pool," which I at first took to be a joke. I splashed him away to continue my piece, but for a second, I felt the urge and I looked down. Whether I was expecting it or not, there my brother was, unconscious. Quicker than I knew myself to be, I dived towards the bottom of the pool, where I wrapped my arms around him. I squeezed while I surfaced, now feeling the sheer weight of his limp body in my hands as I brought him up the ladder, careful to not bend his neck. Some nearby younger kids laughed, unaware that the foam exiting my brother's mouth was no joke. I felt unable to talk, yet I aimed my cries of panic toward the congregation of nearby adults, yelling for help. As I stood in shock, someone nearby me began to resuscitate my brother through mouth to mouth. Suddenly, fear clung to the air. Time took me as prisoner, making mere seconds feel like a lifetime. He was saved. He was alive. My brother was then picked up as he discarded the water that filled his lungs. The hospital was called, informing us to watch over him closely and that most likely he would be okay. As he looked weak, frightened, and confused, I supported my little brother, taking him over to sit on the swing set, where we sat away from the rest of the party. Remembering the end of the night was a blur, but the car ride home passed by quickly, as my stomach was surprisingly unfazed. The event of the day hit me harder than any car sickness ever could. Growing up, my brother always looked up to me. It may sound great, but as a kid, I didn't think so. My brother acted as a mirror of myself, pretending to enjoy what I did, sometimes even following me where I went. But after that day, I changed the recognition I held for him. Finding out by my mom that my brother almost drowned because he tried to reach me in the deep end was heartbreaking. Within this experience, I had learned a lesson most associated with death. At the end of the day, family was most important in any person's life. It is what holds you together through the worst situations of your lifetime, and having them is a blessing. You don't know what you have until it's gone. Well, I now know what I have, and it's still here today.